Welcome guys, I'm back with my new video. So today we are going to learn how we can install a Windows 2008 server with Active Directory. So I already prepared a VM for this purpose on my Hyper-V. And the first thing you need to note that your server is configured with the static IP address. So you can go and see the details of your network card. Okay, I have a IP address which is static and a default gateway along with the subnet. Then we can check it from here in server manager roles that the Active Directory domain services role is already enabled, but we have to configure it. Unless we will configure, it will not work. So what we quickly go to the run and we type DC promo to promote this server to domain controller. So we click OK. We use the advanced mode of installation. Next, yes, we want to configure this with the DNS client. Create a new forest because I don't have any domain controller yet in this forest. Let me put the name here, prem.com. It will validate if the name is already being used in the forest before we proceed further. Okay, it take the NetBIOS name as Prem. I will install it in the latest forest functional level version available with this operating system. It is by default a DNS server and will be the global catalog server because this is the only domain controller for now. I will create the DNS delegation as well because this is the first server. Here you can change the path of your database for Active Directory and your script and policies folder, which is sysvol. Type in the password for Active Directory restore mode whenever you need to recover your domain controller from failures. Validate all the settings you want to install. If all is fine, you can also export these settings into a text file if you want. Click next to begin with the installation. So now it started the installation. I can click in here reboot on completion, so it will automatically reboot it after completion. So let's wait for a while. For the time being, so it should not take very long because it is the first domain controller, so will it will hardly take few minutes to get installed completely. So it's creating all directory partitions needed for a domain controller. As I said, this is the first domain controller, so it was pretty fast. While the domain controller promotion process is complete, your local administrator accounts becomes the domain administrator account. So you no longer will be logging to the local administrators. The same account and same password will be used to log in as a local domain account. So it will be a local domain or administrator account. So it's still taking some time because it will apply all the settings, security settings to the domain controller while the first reboot. Okay, so we are ready to log in. So now you see the domain/administrator. So same. The password will be same for this. So great, we are ready with the installation. So first thing while I log in, I go to our network settings and I will configure my primary DNS server for the domain controller itself, although it's a loopback address, but I will want to put it, so we will put it as the same as the server IP address. Then we will do our configuration of our DNS server, and I will configure the reverse DNS zone because it is needed. It will be a primary zone, and I will, there is a major setting you want this to be replicated to all the domain controller in a forest. Although I have a single domain controller, but it is ideal if you want to replicate the zone to all the domain servers, you need to select this first option. Okay, I am creating a reverse zone for IPv4. So it will be something 10.0.0. Allow secure and non-secure updates, or maybe you can configure it more securely and allow only secure dynamic updates. Finish. So now we are done with, and now we go to the forward lookup zone and we open this. This is required for the DNS settings, and you update the pointer record for your domain controller. So while during the NS lookup, you don't get any issues. So you refresh, and now you see you have a reverse lookup zone for your domain controller. You just restart the service for DNS. So I will do a restart. Now you can go to the command prompt and you can run nslookup to see what it resolved to. So here you see your IP address is correct. Normally, if you are not configuring the PDTR record, you will find something different or unknown server here. So that configuration is required prior you start doing that. Now you can resolve the name of your own domain controller. So that's the configuration from the DNS end. First, I always try to do the DNS configuration. Then we now check the users and computers to create some users if you want. Okay, so you see here the directory environment. You can always view and enable the advanced features to see the groups. So here you have some built-in groups, and there are descriptions along with that what these groups can do. Let's say account operators who can operate the accounts, administrators who are the local administrator on the domain controllers as well. And similarly, you have users where you have domain related accounts. So you have a domain administrator, you have domain admins here. It's a group, and there are others as well. You have domain controllers, domain computers. So these are the accounts or groups which are created due to promotion of this domain controller to domain, and these are all the local accounts you find here. So let's create one OU and let's call it people. You can check it, protect container from accidental deletion. Unless you remove it from the object properties, you cannot delete it. If you try to delete this OU, so it will say you don't have privilege to delete this. So this is one of the problem if you anytime face. What you have to do, you have to just go to the properties, you go to the object tab and you uncheck this, then you will be able to delete it. So this for, and here you can create users, you want to create groups, organizational unit, you can create printers for domain, shared printers, shared folders you can create, contacts you can create. So here you can create a lot of things. Computers, by default, any computer is placed into the domain. It is seen here. Domain controllers, all the domain controllers in this domain, prem.com, will be visible here. And then you have a system OU and lot of things. So here you can browse along with your users, accounts you created, built-in accounts, computers, etc. You can go to the site and services console and you can see your first site. So we have installed it in the default site. So you will find this domain controller in the default site. Normally you can create a new site and you can just right click on the server and you can move it to another. For checking and verifying the details of default global catalog, you can see here it's checked. And for subnets, you can create a subnet for its own. Let's say we created 10.0.0.0/24 and we select the site for this subnet as this site, default site. So this is how you configure the site and services, just an overview. I'm not going very depth into this. So this is how guys you can actually install a domain controller on Windows 2008 server. Thank you guys for watching and please subscribe to my channel and also like this video. Also you put some comment, you want to ask any questions related to domain environment, please let me know. I will be able to help you and happy to help you. Thank you guys and have a nice day.